to this computer. We'll make sure we'll put that up on the YouTube site a little bit later. But having said that, good morning, everyone. It is so good to see you all today. We have many people here that we've seen before. We have some new ones that are new to the hackathon, but we're so glad to see you today. As you know, the training today will actually is to go over some of the finer points when it comes to mentoring at one of the hackathons. And of course, in this particular case, we're speaking about mentoring during the PEARC21 HackHPC Hackathon. So go ahead and next slide there, Charlie.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. We are starting.
So introductions. So we started a tradition last year doing these mentor training sessions that we'd like to give our spirit animals. So my name is Jimmy Powell. I'm actually a part of the Texas Advanced Computing Center. And I've worked with hackathons for a number of years, as well as with Omnibond and a wonderful group of people that come together to put together these hackathons for a few years, along with the Science Gateways Community Institute. You see there, my spirit animal is Jake the dog from Adventure Time. And if you know me, you know that is pretty spot on. Charlie?
Greetings, everyone. So I am Charlie Day. I'm the Director of Training and Professional Development here at TAC. Jamie is my one and only favorite co-instructor, to the point where, and this Jamie, no lie, the days you can't make classes, I hear your voice in the back of my head with every slide I'm saying, and I got to put the little Jamie-isms in there as I'm going through class. Actually, Jocelyn last week at the SGCI training, Jocelyn can verify that. Yeah, I acted as Jamie as well. So yeah, I've been involved with these hackathons for a few years now. Jamie pulled me in because, well, you know, that's what he does. That's what he's really good at doing. My spirit animal in this case is Tony Stark. Not because of the craziness, but because of the geekiness and the nerdiness. Plus, I like to think that I can come up with some creative solutions to get me out of jams, or get us out of jams. So, and you know, Tony Stark's cool. So,
and you got to give it to Charlie. Like, Charlie is the flyest computer science person you'll ever meet. He comes in, his hair coiffed, with dressed nicely and ready to go. So you got to take on that part too. I could totally see you wearing those shades. Totally.
Not anymore. My hair is totally buzzed now. So.
All right, you all. So let's go ahead and what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin the wheel and have you all do the same thing. So all you have to do is give us your name, where you're from, and what movie character from any series you would consider to be your spirit person or representative or avatar. So I'm going to start at the top of the list here with actually a former student of mine, Jernetti Burney.
How did I know you were going to do that?
It's not my fault. It says Jamie, Charlie, Jernetti. I can't, you know, it is what it is.
So, good morning, everyone. My name is Jernetti Burney. I'm from North Carolina. More specifically, I work at Methodist University as an instructor, spirit animal. If I had to give a spirit animal, I would say, I don't know, probably Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I actually knew that. Faking the funk, like, I don't know what I would be.
But it's nice to meet everyone. I hope you're having a great day so far. It's raining over here.
Excellent.
With Dragon Ball Z, here's another dad joke, Jamie.
Oh, Lord.
How many Dragon Ball Z characters does it take to screw in a light bulb?
How many?
Just one, but it takes 8 episodes to do it.
I thought you were going to do another over 9,000 joke.
has to have over 9,000 threads. No. Um, all right, next on my list. Actually, I'm going to call on some of the people that have been a part of our program before. So you're going to see me follow that pattern. So next, Jocelyn.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jocelyn Salgado. I am located in around the Chicagoland area. I currently switched my major from environmental science to getting my associates in arts and business and focusing towards getting my realtor's license. If I could have any spirit animal that's a character, well, I've always said that my spirit animal in general is a dragon, and I don't know anyone. I mean, I watched a movie yesterday with my sisters called Wish Upon a Dragon on Netflix, but I wouldn't describe myself as that dragon because that dragon was selfish. So I wouldn't describe that one, but I would describe a different one. So that's how I feel. Your turn.
Have you watched Dragon Prince on Netflix yet?
Mm-mm.
I can't recommend that enough. That is such a great cartoon. It is awesome.
That is the third time I've heard that in 2 days.
Dragon Prince? Oh my god.
Yeah, the Dragon Prince is amazing. It's written by the people who did Avatar: The Last Airbender. So
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that.
it's got
Thank
the
you.
same kind of humor, but the stories are amazing.
Right. And Dr. Hayden, would you mind saying hello for us?
Hello, everyone. Glad to be with you another year, another hackathon. So I'm Linda Hayden, and I am head of workforce development with Science Gateway Community Institute. I'm also affiliated with Elizabeth City State University, where I run their Center of Excellence in Remote Sensing Education and Research. And I get to work with all these excellent undergraduate and graduate students along the way. If I had to describe myself as an animal, it would probably be a spider. I see myself as knitting webs between people and between organizations and funding sources. And oh yeah, I think a spider is a good one.
Excellent.
Black widow spider.
And Dr. Hayden is actually also a part of our organizing committee. She actually carried the torch and has kind of brought us all together. Many of us here in this room are here because of Dr. Hayden, including myself. She grabbed me out of high school, so here I am.
This little web.
And Dr. Doswell, would you mind saying hello to us or for us?
Hello, I'm Dr. Felicia Doswell in the Computer Science Department at Norfolk State University in Virginia. And currently, I'm not sure I will be. I came to the meeting, but I'm not sure if I will be able to be a mentor during that week, as I'm just starting the interim chair position in July. But I'm coming to the meeting to find out what it's all about.
Interim chair position. That means you get to pick somebody else to do it, right?
No, that means I get to act until we get somebody else. Act as chair until we get somebody else in. And spirit animal, I would say, would be a cat. Can't really say why. I've just always like that animal.
Not a problem. Thank you and welcome, Dr. Doswell. And I'm going to call on one more person here, because I know people are getting nervous. One more person here, Amy from Omnibond. She's actually another member of our organizing committee that's here. Would you mind saying hello, Amy?
Hello, I'm sorry I was late. I'm having problems joining this morning.
Not a problem at all. So
I'm here.
excellent. It's good to see you there, Amy. And also good to see Boyd and Rich and James and Edwina and Marcus, Pinakini. We have a full house here today and we're really happy to see you. We're going to go ahead and move forward here because we have some things to go over. So, Charlie,
Sir.
Slide master. There we go.
Slide
So today's
master.
agenda, we're going to be going over a little bit of information about the hackathon. This is, of course, very important for those of you that have never participated in a hackathon or acted as a mentor or either. And so we really want to give you an idea of what's going to happen. We're going to give you the hackathon objectives and student outcomes. We're going to give you some demographics of the participants this year, which are actually really interesting. Some sample project timelines to give you an idea of how it flows, because it seems like controlled craziness. You'll hear me say that over and over again. The deliverables and resources that your teams will be required to put out there. We have our mentoring information, so our expectations, challenges, fundamental principles. We're going to have a tiny mentor hack that will take place over the course of 10 minutes, no more than 10 minutes.
We're going to pick a mentor and you have to hack them.
But I'm going to tell you ahead of time, the purpose of that is to give you an idea of what the students will be going through so that you can properly understand what's going on. Now, I also want to throw out there and then some mentoring techniques. I will throw out there that one more time that we have a few mentors that have mentored for our hackathon before. Please feel free to add your input. So people like Rich, who Rich will actually be giving a presentation next week on Cloudy Cluster and Google Cloud. He'll be doing that training session for the students. So you'll get to know him a little bit better next week. But these are mentors that have been with us from the beginning. And then Jocelyn is actually a student mentor. So she started in our third hackathon, if I remember correctly, our second or third hackathon. And now she's progressed to the point that she's actually a mentor herself, a veteran mentor at that. So we'll have some very good information from all of those. All right, go ahead and move forward there, Charlie.
All right.
So go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Okay, I was going to say the objective of these hackathons of HackHPC. We're trying to harness skills, resources, and knowledge that the HPC community has essentially built. Right, we've been building this for like the last 30, 40 years, and we're trying to provide applied exposure towards students. All right, so the thing is the students that we're trying to target and show them what resources, skills, and knowledge is available in the HPC community and what resources, skills, and knowledge they need to apply to solve a problem within the HPC community. And we've been targeting, post-secondary educational institutions mostly, 2-year, 4-year ones. So Hackathon's going to provide these skills and training while targeting problems that directly affect the participants. So one of the biggest things that we've noticed so far is that if you're trying to solve a problem that is that's a problem that is close to your community, then you have more of a direct relation to it, and you want to be able to figure out a way of solving it and feel good about yourself when you're solving it. I mean, that's a lot of what these hackathons are about, is feeling good about using these technologies, feeling good about and confident about yourself and your ability to learn these skills and apply these skills. So yeah, that's essentially what our main objective is: to develop the knowledge through applications of data analysis, being able to present material, and being able to manage a project. So our outcomes listed: increase familiarity with data science in the cloud, learn what data science in the cloud is all about, and more so learn what data science is all about, experience collaborative software engineering skills, and of course, develop professional communication skills, not just within your team, because you do have to communicate within your team, but also express your ideas to others who are listening to your presentations.
All right, let's go ahead and go to the next slide. So who are our students? Now, I believe I am one of the first people to actually see this. So all of the information that you're seeing in front of you is actually from the registrations that we've had this year. So all of this data. As you see over on the upper left-hand corner, and this information will be sent to you all as mentors. The majors are across a swath of different areas. From GIS, of course, computer science being the primary, mathematics. We have some cybersecurity experts that are, or students, I'm saying experts, but students that are participants, but as well as across a range of different levels, from freshmen on through PhD. So it's spread, we're spread pretty evenly between male, female, and non-binary / agender. Prior participation in the hackathon. So this is one of those numbers you want to pay attention to. Only about 32% of the students have ever participated in any type of hackathon. So there's going to be some trepidation there. About 60% are attending from minority serving institutions. But then also at the top, depending upon what project you may have an idea that you'd like the students to work on, you can see the level of skills. Top tier skills, as far as in common skills that you should have within your group, are going to be Python, a little bit of Java, and maybe some Jupyter notebooks that they've worked with Python within. Some of the lower skills are going to be the Django and Aravita, as you can see, as well as JavaScript. So keep that in mind, that when you're thinking about your team groups, as your team being comprised of 4 to 5 students, of the mix or the swath of skill sets that are there and the things that you may have to work with. And again, these come from self-reported skill sets, those that have either said they feel strong in it, down to they feel nothing about it. And you see the difference between their ability to use, they may have taken a class, but their comfort using it, which is always going to be a little bit less, or generally speaking is a little bit less than their ability to use it.
Yeah.
Again,
I
we're
would
going to
also
see this information.
just talking from experience here, I would even take those numbers and drop them another 10-15%, because you tend to overestimate your abilities in a lot of these cases. So and the other thing I'd like to point out too is the gender, female, male, non-binary, because you're all mentors, do be careful of pronoun use. All right, that is actually something that came up in a evaluation a few weeks ago with our REU students at TAC regarding the non-binary use. So, and the last thing, majors and subject of studies, since some of these are computer science related, right? Computer science, information data, machine learning. Some of these are not quite. So we also have to make sure that our language is kind of toned down a bit on what kind of technology we're talking about, and remember that we're encompassing everybody's abilities, because one of the main points of these hackathons is to bring the team together. So we want to make sure that everybody's playing on the same field.
Thanks, Charlie. All right, next slide. So the question that we're asked all the time whenever I try to, let's say, Pinakini, tell me if this sounds about right. Blackmail my coworkers, no, kindly, gently offer them an opportunity they can't refuse to join one of the hackathons, is they ask what's going to happen. Hackathons take place over a consecutive set of days. Generally speaking, we do it on the weekend because that way the students should be fully available. We don't have to compete with classes and things. And so one, mentors immediately think they're giving up their weekend, or two, do they have to be online all the time? And so given an idea, the project timeline helps a little bit. The initial component is developing a definitive scope and topic that you're going to work with. You as mentors, your job is to come up with a general idea. You're going to make a brand new bouncing baby, and then you're going to hand that baby to your students, and they're going to change that baby, and you need to be okay with that. And this baby, when they're done, may not necessarily be anything like what you thought that baby was going to grow up to be.
It may not even bounce.
It may not even bounce. It may not be a baby at the end. It may be a dog. I don't know. It might turn into a car. But the point is that
it's their car.
It's their car. You're just giving them a starting point, because that starting point a lot of times is the hardest thing to do. You're going to help them. They're going to deliver the project proposal and presentation. We're going to have regular check-ins. And what check-ins are our, as an organizing committee, we found that by giving check-ins, so twice a day during the hackathon, we bring everybody online. We may have a guest speaker, and by guest speaker, I mean they talk for 2 or 3 minutes total. We make sure that everybody's on track. I may have some type of what you think is a silly game or a silly challenge, and we have prizes. But the points of those games or challenges are to either, one, bring the teams together, or two, address an issue that we're seeing. For instance, we may have a challenge of what team made the most progress. What I'm really doing is I'm addressing the teams are kind of getting stuck. Let's give them something to push towards. I will have a team challenge where you come on with a team background and a team song and things like that, which seems silly, but what it does is it helps bring your team together. And so you'll see that happen. And that's why the check-ins. And towards the end, you'll see that we'll cancel check-ins to make sure you all keep working, because then we're putting the focus more and more and more on the work itself. So it's like one of those subtle motivational things that your work is more important than us getting together and having fun for a second. I don't want to break your train of thought. So you'll see that happen. Final presentations with deliverables. So they're going to have a GitHub repository, which we have training on that today, demonstrations, presentations. And then we also have metrics for selecting a winner. We look at group collaboration, project viability, and project impact. And we have judges that come in that we actually pre-train. Dr. Hayden's actually in charge of that to ensure that they look at the various projects correctly. All right. And if you wouldn't mind going forward there.
Yeah.
Student deliverables and resources. This is my favorite thing. You're going to see this slide over and over and over and over and over again, because we've all had students before or have been students. Sometimes you need to remind people of what the end game is. And I believe in doing that. The deliverables that each team will have to produce by July 12th, so that Monday prior to presentations, are a good GitHub repository with their source code, including comments, a PDF of their presentation that they're giving that includes the team members with pictures and how they've used HPC technology in the project. So they want to explain that. And in that GitHub repository, they need to make a readme.md, so a readme.markdown file that includes a project description. If you all attend the GitHub training here at 10:30 my time, you'll see some examples of that. Some of the resources you have, and you'll hear this again and again, but just you might want to write yourself a little note if this is your first time. We have Google Cloud credits that Google provided. So that means they can do virtual machines, Docker accounts, AI instances, and the list goes on and on and on. Cloudy Cluster, which Rich and Boyd and Josh Kissel and others, Mary, will be able to assist you all with. We'll also have training on that actually next week that'll allow you to set up virtual clusters really, really easily. So you basically, it's almost click and go, wherein you'll have an operational compute cluster running Slurm. So just to put that out there, some of the most commonly used software packages are, of course, Python, Jupyter, Node.js for JavaScript, Replit for collaborative environments, HTML, and Colab, Google Colab, which is a Jupyter Notebook-esque installation. Other thing you may want to write down, or either take your phone and screen capture right now, is Cloud Hack HPC or Cloud HPC hack.slack.com, which is our Slack channel. And the reason we use Slack, and it's a paid version of Slack, is so that you and your teams can communicate, connect, share screens, call each other if you need to at any time during the event. All right.
And students are going to want that as well.
Yes. Yes. There's a little bit of a learning curve if you've never used Slack before or Discord. So that's why we include that in our initial training, and those videos will be available.
All right. So what you can expect as a mentor, excuse me. All right. So the mentoring process is iterative. Okay. What we mean by that is it is a communication where you talk to your team. Your team gives you feedback, your team gives you results and see what they're going, and then you talk to them again, and then your team takes what you've mentioned to them, ideas you've given them, little pushes you've done along the way, and they're going to recreate their process and bring it back to you. It's going to be an iterative process. All right. It's not just we go there and give them the heads up, this is what you do, and 48 hours later you see what they've done. No, you're going to be constantly in contact with them. They're going to give you feedback. You're going to give them feedback, and it's continuously, it's a continuous integration process. All right. And your students are going to experience lots of challenges. Their challenges are going to be, they will trip, they will fall, you know, they will hit the ground hard. And your job as a mentor, and this is where the challenges come in for you, is you have to pick them up and rebuild their egos, tell them how great they can do and what they're doing and how this project can help them, and actually listen to what issues they are having and give them solutions to those issues. All right. Not solution to their problems that they're facing in their code. All right. But solutions to the issues that they're having with integrating themselves in the team. That's the biggest point that I've ever seen, is that team members have issues integrating themselves in with the other team members, because as we saw, there's a little bit of a discrepancy between people's technologically, what kind of tech they've used and how much they've used and what their experience level is. All right. So that is your job as a mentor, is to essentially pick them up, dust them off, give them some words of encouragement, give them some words of where they can, exactly, we're cheerleaders. We're cheerleaders with motive and make them go towards, you know, whatever their goal is and help them along the way. Believe it or not, and the team will become more cohesive because of it. Of course, there will be a natural leader in your team. So you have to kind of talk to them as well to make sure everybody else is included in the actual hack. And of course, we have to realize as a mentor, we can't do everything in 48 hours. We have a plan as a mentor. This is what we want to do. And this is the vision we see it being in 48 hours later. Not everything's going to get done. So we don't do this to your team, but in your head, build a list of what you'd really like to see at the end of 48 hours realistically. And then divide that list by 2. And then that is what you expect your team is going to get done. So figure out what that is. And during those feedback loops that we're creating, try and push those in. Well, this is great, but can you concentrate more on this part, or see if you can do something with this, or see if you can do something with that. And then if there's still some time left, that's when you put the icing on and put everything together. But remember, we have 48 hours, but we also are going to have check-ins. We're also going to have presentations that they have to get ready for. They're also going to have challenges that they're going to have to, HPC hackathon challenges outside the project challenges that they're going to be competing in as well. So you got to make sure we have time for all that. And of course, sleep and eating.
Those outside challenges will motivate the students and are project related. So just know that when we do a challenge, you'll don't look at the challenge as, oh, Jamie's asking for something else. Why we gotta do one slide 1 minute? That's my favorite thing. Why we gotta do one slide 1 minute? He's trying to make sure he saw a problem. He's trying to get it. And we have mentor meetings as well, wherein I tell you the reason why I'm doing a certain challenge. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide there, Charlie.
Just getting there now.
Thank you, sir. All right, so we're gonna push forward here. So what challenges does a mentor solve? Like Charlie said, all of these are gonna sound familiar. Imbalance in participation, making sure we're motivating the students. Project direction isn't viable. Student teams, especially undergrads, come in and wanna save the world. The purpose of our project is to cure cancer by tomorrow. No, we need to scope that down a little bit. So let me get this right. You really want a dashboard to see where cancer cases are, okay, we can do that. Students are reluctant to drive the process. They're going to be hesitant. Jocelyn, I think Jocelyn has seen that, and then see how that turns around when it becomes their own. You just have to empower them. Students sometimes just want answers. I asked my father for help with homework one time, and I remember he gave me a 3-hour dissertation on the history of math. And at the end, told me to, oh, he didn't know the answer to that. Go look at the book. I learned from that process. I need to figure stuff out. So point them in the direction, but they need to find the answers. Morale will decrease over time. When you're working, some teams decide to work 48 hours straight, to not sleep. We don't do that. Force them to sleep. Even if you just tell them, we're getting offline. If one decides to go crazy, fine. But your job is to allow them the time to rest and to keep that motivation up. And we pop in and pick on people just to, keep them going. And students don't communicate. Y'all seen that. You see that good old like Rich here. There's some teams that will have their cameras on, happy, smiling, there, present. And you're like, oh, this is amazing. And then you'll go to another team and you'll see the mentor there and then hear crickets. But they're different team dynamics that both versions are perfectly fine. It's okay.
Do encourage your students to have their cameras on, though, because there's a lot you can read off of somebody's facial expression to know if they're falling behind or if they're reluctant to chat with the rest of the team and move the project forward. So I would encourage cameras to be on, and mics. Sometimes, since the team's only like 4 or 5 people, let them have their mics on. That way you can catch the size or, things like that, those little micro communications that we want to catch up on to make sure students are alert and also encourage them to take breaks. All right. Encourage them to do something outside, like just get off your desk and, one of the cool things, go find the oldest technology that you have in your house and show it to everybody, or talk about your dog for an hour. It's just something that will change the dynamic a bit, and then, get some laughs and being able to sit down and start working again.
All right. Let's go ahead and push forward. So a couple fundamental principles: observe the students, not the work. Let me say that again. Observe the students, not the work. It's really easy for us to get focused in on the work and forget that what we're here for, the purpose of our hackathons, can't speak for other ones, but the purpose for our hackathons are to improve the students as individuals. Observe the students, not the work. Be present, but not omnipresent. I'm here for you. I can help. Hey, I see you're kind of stuck. Let me work with you. But not line 3 of your code is screwed. What I need you to do is no. Be present, but not omnipresent. Use critical questions, not criticisms. So what are you trying to do there? Explain to me your code. Charlie and I are famous for this in our class. I can't figure this out. Walk me through your code. Tell me the story of your code. Not, well, why would you do that?
Oh my God, I want to say that so many times.
Not kidding, but you bite your tongue and you go, why don't you talk me through what you're trying to do? And a lot of times they'll find the answers themselves if you do it that way. All right.
But that takes a lot of patience.
It does.
Yeah. Especially when it's just yelling at you, this is the problem right here.
You want to fix it so badly.
But you want the students to get there. So critical questions, direct questions, and don't critique them. So
right.
Motivation is very important. Morale is very important.
And all that seems simple, but just keep them in mind. So we're going to give you, this is a prequel to what you're going to be doing. You're going to choose a mentor challenge, describe a strategy.
So
I have it on the slide as well.
Oh, okay.
So Yep. And you'll use to address it. So just start getting your mind thinking about it now. You're going to be working with everybody inside of this group. Actually, I'll probably split it into 2 breakout rooms. What's the problem? Technique you're going to develop, tell a story, or ideally how you think it will play out. Collaborate and report it out with a presentation. You're going to have 5 minutes to do it. So go ahead and get your mind together. 5 minutes. And then you're going to report it out. We're not going to extend the time. You got to figure it out. All right, next.
Example is going to be, how do you get feedback from your students when they might be reluctant to criticize the type of help you've given them? Answer, what we always do in all of our hackathons and even our code attacks is like, wish, wonder. You know what? We should do this in our class too.
Yeah.
Essentially, and then describe, students write a short 1-sentence reflection about their learning experience. What they described, something they liked, something they wished, and something they wondered. Then they'll take turns sharing, and then you'll see that the students start communicating with each other because, oh yeah, I wish that too, or I was wondering about that myself, or yeah, I really like that. So students are given an opportunity to prepare an answer rather than being put on the spot, and any minor influctuations come from they're reframed as further questions rather than frustrations. So yeah, that was essentially a example technique that you're going to be able to apply to one of your tasks. So
Yes.
Pick one of these. All right,
Now,
there it is.
hackathon time. Hackathon time. If you look at your clocks right now, my clock here in Central Time says 8:42. At 8:43, y'all are going to be thrown into breakout rooms. Your task in 7 minutes is to pick one of these common issues when mentoring. Grab your phone, take a picture real quick so that you have them. From the common issues when mentoring, pick a box, pick one problem as a group and develop a technique to resolve it. Your deliverables. One slide in which you present the developed technique in 1 minute. 1 slide, 1 minute. Everybody got a picture of the questions you can have? Everybody understand you have 7 minutes to do it? This is what our students go through. Now you're going to go through it. And you know what? So I am setting up 2 breakout rooms. It's going to automatically assign you questions, concerns. For the person that's been doing some other work that's like, wait, oh, what? Yeah, life's about to happen. Okay.
And the winning team gets a 10-minute nap.
I want that nap. No, all right. So I will see you all in 7 minutes. There were no questions, so I will see you all in 7 minutes. Dr. Doswell's doing something else. Nope, she went in. Junetti, are you doing something else? Are you driving to work? You're driving to work, aren't you? Nope, she's gone. There we go. Hey, Alex.
Hey, how's it going?
Actually, let me go ahead and pause the recording while. All right, everyone's coming back. It's funny, just about everybody's camera that popped up were like this.
Oh, we're all mute. Everyone's muted, by the way.
Okay. Like every single one of y'all were just.
It just happened too fast.
And
Don't act surprised, Jamie.
Is the point. That is the point. You're getting the point. That sense of a trepidation, that sense of what are we doing? How many of y'all figured out how you're going to work together and how you're going to get a presentation, get a slide done really quickly, and we need to pick a topic, and I don't even know y'all.
And then you teleported us back.
And then bring you back.
Exactly.
And I'm like, hey, everybody's ready to go. And y'all are like, I needed like at least 10 more minutes.
I know, Charlie's like, I think we have like one more second, and then it was gone.
So let's see what y'all came up with though. Just for an idea. We didn't do this for nothing. So there were two groups. There was room 1 and room 2. So we'll start with room 1, which looks like it was Caesar, Charlie, Dr. Doswell, Janetti, John, Dr. Hayden, Marcus, and Amy. So you all, Marcus, you had a power group because everyone else in your group has been a mentor before, and Caesar. So y'all had a power group. So I know y'all are going to be amazing. So where's your slide? Do I need to make someone a co-host so they can bring up their slide?
I think Linda is muted there, but.
Oh yeah, by the way,
Okay, I need to show my screen.
All right.
Alignment.
Oh, actually, I can do it right.
Alignment.
Because y'all are trustworthy.
Yeah. By the way, our team name was Hayden's Angels. That's who we are.
Is that a common theme with the Angels now?
It's a thing. All right, Dr. Hayden, you should be able to share now if you.
Okay.
All right.
Got it. All right, it's a pretty bare bones looking slide, but let's see if I can share my screen.
You can or you can't.
Screen.
You should be able to.
Got it.
There we go.
Okay. All right. I got a splash of color and I got an image. We had some really good ideas. So we decided to look at the fact that many of the students are reluctant to drive the process to step forward and provide leadership for the team and contribute their ideas. And so we know that what we really want to do in this hack is to empower our students and let them come out with a feeling that this is indeed something that they can master and can contribute. They have something to contribute. So we wanted to start off by giving them suggestions to start the process off. And then don't let them cling to you or depend on you to come up with the answer. And so we thought about, if necessary, divide the problem into smaller chunks, something more digestible, something they can handle, something they can have some success with in smaller pieces. So think about the problem in smaller steps and present it to them in that way. And so maybe you don't overwhelm them totally. So make the problem simpler and then give them some privacy to work. So maybe breakout rooms that are available 24 hours a day where they know you won't be there so that they can talk openly and freely to one another. So those were the ideas we came up with. If I missed any team members, please step up and share.
What I'm going to do, Doc, because you are at time, I'm going to give you the snaps. Good job, room 1. Now, Doc, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and stop sharing room 2. Now, I bet you the person that's in charge of room 2's slide deck was steadily working while Doc was talking. Which is why I have the teams turn in their presentations before the presentation starts. So let's take a look at team 2's slides. And who
created the slides?
Or is team 2? I can call you all out. Let's see here, because now I know Chris came in a little bit at the tail end, but Edwina and James and Jocelyn and Pinakini and
Rich
Rebecca and Rich, y'all had a good mix
Rich
there.
was creating the slide then while you were talking, huh? I knew it.
Mhm. So go ahead, Rich. So your 1 minute starts now. You need to unmute yourself though, Rich. If he's talking. Oh, there we go.
I was the slide editor, but I do think that Pinakini is the idea source, so we should probably have her talk about it.
Well, we all worked on it together, so I'm just going to talk on behalf of the team. Basically, I did a hackathon a couple of months ago, and I faced a challenge where people came out, students came out to me saying that, hey, I've never installed a Jupyter notebook. Hey, I don't know anything about machine learning. I absolutely have no idea what I'm going to do here. How should I contribute to this team? So they have a feeling like it's called as an imposter syndrome, where you're a newbie and you don't feel like you're a part of the team, or maybe that you could contribute something very significant towards this hackathon. So this was the challenge that I faced there, and the way that we handled it was we divided the team in such a way that everybody has something to do. We divided the tasks. We gave everyone a task that they were comfortable with doing, so that they actually felt a sense of accomplishment, a sense of participation, that they were actually a part of the team and not apart from the team. So just make them comfortable with what they're doing. Suppose they have good presentation and communication skills, somebody has exceptional coding skills, so you divide those tasks accordingly and make them come together as a team.
Excellent. Good job. Good
Thank you.
job. So, all right, if you wouldn't mind stop sharing, Charlie, and we're going to give you all snaps. You can always tell when Rich, well, anyway, you'll see Rich's presentations are always have a touch of visual acuity or visual representation that just, yeah, I always love seeing Rich's slides. So, did you notice? Now we're coming up on the tail end of our time here, so we're gonna run through these, but I do want to value your time here. So, did you notice that getting to know your participant, when you were trying to get to know each other in a group really hurriedly, and get the project goal together and gamification while you're doing it, you're jamming through it, and yet do you see how you feel a little bit of a connection to your group? As I said, room 1 versus room 2. It's a subtle thing. It's a really subtle thing, but those subtle things help bring the groups together. Quickly trying to scope the project, being able to guide each other, make sure you're on the right track. Noticing that people immediately took certain roles. There's some that kind of sit back and are quiet. There's some that jump out there and go, this is what we got to do. Adjusting to the student skill levels and critical questioning. All these are things you're going to see with your groups as you're going through the hackathon itself. So keep this in mind when the hackathon actually takes place. Charlie, would you mind going and pushing forward there? Some of those things you want to think about. And so now we're here at the end. We're going to do one last thing. This is going to take a little bit of time. If you have a meeting at the top of the hour here, please go first. What we're going to do is we're going to go through a like, wish, wonder, and then we're going to say goodbye to you all for the day. So this is just one of those techniques I told you about that helps your team have positive reflection on what's going on. And I'm going to go first so that you can see what's going on. I'm going to tell you one like and then one wish or wonder. And if you agree, give me some snaps. Or of course, because we're on the good old Zoom, you can give us the thumbs up to let us know that you agree with it. And the trick here is, if it's a wish or wonder, to make it a positive wish or wonder. Make sense? So, first of all, I like the fact you all showed up across the country at this early hour and were so willing to get involved. And I want to thank you all for that. I really appreciate you all. I'm happy to see you. And I can't wait to get to know you all better. My wish is that for each of you, there will be a magical cup of coffee or tea, because some of us are tea drinkers, or water for those that are like no caffeine, that magically teleports to your desk. My real wish is that we had a little bit more time, but keeping it quick leaves the heart fond of the program. And I wonder what your teams are going to come up with. I think that you're all going to do some very special things. Charlie, you want to do the next one?
Sure. Mine's not really a like, it's more of a love. Love seeing everybody again. It was fantastic. After a year, get to see everyone again, and actually just a week for some of you all. So that's great. And of course, I wish that I wish we did have more time to talk and just kind of hang out and chat with everybody. And I really wish that we get able to see each other in face to face in real life. So.
Thank you, Charlie. Is there anyone that needs to run that'd like to give us their like, wish, or wonder?
I have to go. This is Amy.
All right. Amy, you want to give us your like real quick?
I like that all of us were together on the call today. Like Charlie, I really miss not all of us in person. My wish and my wonder and my hope is that all of the students as well have a great time and really enjoy everybody being together. I wish it was in person, but since it's virtual, I hope all of the students enjoy all of us as much as we enjoy them.
Yeah. Thanks, Amy. All right.
Thank you, everybody. Nice seeing you.
Great seeing you, Amy.
Amy, can I go?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Okay. I wish, oh no, let me say, I like working with all of you and the students. I wish all the teams could be winners, and I wonder who will win.
Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Dr. Caldwell. All right. Anyone else want to volunteer? I see John Holly. John from Exceed.
I like the fact that we're giving these students a new opportunity and something new to learn. I wish that we could make this such that everyone will continue to talk to each other after they've gone through this process.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's a way to create some sort of hackathon alumni group so that they can continue to communicate through other channels.
Oh,
that's a great idea. Yeah.
Hackathon alumni group. Perhaps they should put the link in the chat. Hey, Rich, would you mind doing that for me? We actually do have a hackathon alumni.
I do not mind.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and paste that in there for everyone. Good one, John. Do we have any other volunteers?
I'll volunteer and then I'll paste it.
Okay. All right.
I really like being a part of hackathons and seeing the fact that strangers can come together to try to accomplish a common objective, and you see that process of forming, storming, norming, and performing to varying levels depending on the groups. I wish that some of our past members were here, like Junyi and Brandy, and some of our long lost friends. And I wonder if I will ever come up with a hackathon idea that could be actually accomplished.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Remember, it starts as your baby, then it turns into a truck.
Hopefully it's a Cybertruck.
So I'm gonna get let's see, 3 more. So let's
can
get
I
okay.
go?
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
I'm sorry. I just like the consistency of the hackathon, right? Like that is something that is just amazing. It is a very difficult to be consistent in an event like this. Doing it year in and year out. And I know there's a lot of moving parts that we don't actually get to see, and I just appreciate that. I appreciate not having to see those parts too sometimes. I just wish for many more.
Great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call out Jernetti, then Jocelyn, and then James, and then we're going to finish out with Dr. Hayden.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So we're going to go with the J's. So Jernetti, Jocelyn, James, and then Hayden.
Wow, that's a lot of J's.
The J is silent for Dr. Hayden.
I have to go as well.
Who said that? Marcus? Oh, okay, not a problem.
Marcus.
So I like that hackathons can be used in order to increase the self-esteem and of all of the students. I've seen students get into hackathons and they feel as though they don't have the skill sets in order to accomplish their goal, but seeing them go from that to I'm so confident in my work, I love that. Not just like I love that. I wish that every student could have this opportunity across the globe, especially during these times. Sometimes students get in classes and they can't perform as well because they have to do it virtually, or they have to social distance, so they can't get the teachers' attention as much. So I wish all students had that. And I wonder, I don't know, I wonder if the next Nobel Prize is in one of these projects.
I agree.
It might be. You never know.
Yeah, I'd agree. That's great.
Yeah.
All right. And
Nice.
Jocelyn. And so Marcus, you're going to be after James. So go ahead, Jocelyn.
For mine, I love, because I'm actually going to take what Charlie said. I love to see how far we've come as a program and how we've not only improved, but just increased the amount of students and participation. I love to see the different ideas from so many of our mentors and our students. I wish I could, that I can see more in the future, more students from all across the globe, like what Janae said, because I feel like this program is just such a powerful, and it truly is a gateway for so many students and for so many opportunities. And I wonder how much longer until we're done doing virtual. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
We're getting there. We're getting there. All
I see what you
right.
did there, Jocelyn. Gateway. I get it.
And James.
And every semester in my courses, I always do an icebreaker question for my students. And one of my classic icebreaker question is, what is the difference between the internet and the World Wide Web? And classically, I can always see my students thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, you know? And so I always love seeing students think. I love making students think. That's my classic. I love it. And my wish, and only one of your slides, I saw a representation, or you had a statistics of how many students that participate in these hackathons are from minority serving institutions or in my size. And I can't remember if it was this slide or it was somewhere else. I know there was a slide somewhere. It might've been yesterday. But anyway, oh yeah, there it is right there. Yeah. And so 58%. So my wish and my wonder is that we have a greater participation of minority students in these hackathons.
Excellent. Excellent. Thanks, James. And Marcus.
Okay, so this will be my first run at any type of hackathon. So I like the fact that I have the opportunity to participate. But I wish I had already had some experience, or maybe done a few, or I have a lot of wishes. And also I wonder what the idea of a hackathon maybe came from, and also I wonder, are there been any efforts to maybe get hackathons implemented on like the high school level or something like that?
I would gladly talk to you about that, Marcus. And Dr. Hayden actually has the story. So actually that would be a good thing. We should, you know what, Doc, with this being is it our fourth year or fifth year? Fourth year?
Fourth year.
We should sit down like with Amy and have that conversation about how the first hackathon went and where the ideas came from, and Alex, and just document that as kind of our fourth year story or whatever before we lose it.
We did, we had one article, and second one is in progress now that kind of brings people up to speed on where we started and how we are progressing with this. So we've done some of that work already.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
So Doc,
remember we published one article, Alex? and on the first year's hackathons, and now he's just put one out, another one for us to edit, and it's going to be presented at a conference, I think in December.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So Doc, and also we'd like you to close us out, if you wouldn't mind, with your like, wish, or wonder, and or
I
wonder.
like you and you and you and you and you. You.
Those were all me. I just want y'all to know she likes me. I mean,
like you
y'all are
and
nice too, but that was for
you
me.
and you. All right. And I appreciate the fact so much that these mentors and faculty are giving of their times, their busy summer times, to be with the students and to encourage them as they aspire to learn more about high performance computing and gateways and so forth. I really do like that. I like the fact, as James mentioned, that we are reaching a diverse population, giving them an entree to a world that they probably never knew existed. I know many students in the Coding Institute went, "Oh, my computer's getting hot," because remember that, Charlie?
I remember that.
Because the computer had never done anything other than, they never knew they could access a shell or, whatever. So they're learning, their world is expanding, and it's a world that needs them. It's a world where there's lots of opportunity to contribute. And so I love that about it. And my wish and my wonder, I wish that we can continue to create that environment at the end where people just don't want to go. Where at the last few minutes of the day, people are, not hopping off, that they are still engaged and enjoying the camaraderie and the learning experience, and they're just full. And so that's my wish and my wonder. And I really do look forward to working with you guys this year again.
Thanks, Dr. Hayden.
Magic continues.
Yes, ma'am. All right, Charlie, our last slide.
Wrong window. There we go.
There we go. So you all, thank you so much for coming. This video will be made available we're going to post it to YouTube, and then we'll of course add the link to the main HackHPC at PEARC21 event site. We do have 3 more training sessions. I'm hoping I'm remembering correctly. So today we have our GitHub and Slack. Next week we have our Google Cloud and Compute Cluster, Cloudy Cluster. And then our last one, if I go to it here, and actually, Charlie, I'm going to go ahead and share this so that you all can see it. So I'm on the main hackathon site, so hackhpc.org. Then right up here at the top, I'm going to PEARC21 Hack Hub.
I am trying to stop my share, but it's not letting me.
Okay, I think it says I'm sharing, so I think we're good to go.
No, I'm still seeing Charles.
I'm still here.
Seeing Charles?
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Not letting me.
Let me stop my share. Let's see if you can stop this share.
There we go.
All right, let me go ahead and share again. Let's do this one more time. Do this one more time using what we like to call the right way. No. So this is the main HackHPC site where everything from our past hacks, our alumni email list and LinkedIn group is here. But right up here at the top, we have our PEARC Hack Hub. There we go. And I'll go ahead and click that. Thanks, Rich. HackHPC.org. And on the Hack Hub site, if you haven't seen this, as you can see, we have our mentor pre-training. We have our GitHub Slack on June 22nd, so that's today, here in about an hour. And then our last pre-training event will be the Google Compute Cloud and Cloudy Cluster on Tuesday, the 29th, and Rich will actually be doing that for us. And then the fun starts on July 8th. But at the same time, if you have any questions, concerns, or anything that you need assistance, please let us know. And with that, I am going to stop the share, and I'm going to say goodbye as far as in stopping the recording. So thank you all.
See you, everyone.